Hello, and welcome to my channel. This is Elise here of Plan with Elise, and today I have three brand new, beautiful sticker books from LiveLovePosh to share with you. These sticker books release on November 24th at 1 p.m. Central, and you can use code Elise10 for a discount on your purchase. This is going to happen at the same time as the LiveLovePosh Thankful Sale begins, which will be various discounts on older items throughout the site, like pre-summer release. Still things from this year and before, but not the most recent launches. So what I do want to say is that if you're buying new product, code Elise10 will give you a discount on those products. It's not going to give you an additional discount on sale items. However, if you're only shopping sale, I do request that you shop through the link in the description of the video, because the link is the way that I will earn a commission from referring you. So we have three sticker books and they are stunning. I got to look at them at Chicago Planner Conference, and I'm so excited to now show you and be able to do like a deep dive, because I really just did a quick flip. So we have Petals and Pages, Winter Love, and Chicly lined. So let's take a look at each one. I'll get to that shortly. So first up, we have Chicly lined, which feels like an update of Beautifully Lined. Is that the name of it? But like an older LiveLovePosh sticker book. First of all, look how pretty these are. These are on paper, and you've got these gorgeous roses with some outlines as well. 2 pages of those. Then you have some corner of the same design and some wreaths still on paper. Then we have the next set. These are on clear. I love the pops of color here. And of course, like the name of the book, the florals all have the lines with them too. And then some more corner and like strip ones as well. 2 of those. Now we are going bright. These are really cool. They feel a little bit retro to me, and I like that style. These are on paper. So 2 pages of these. And then the next set, still on paper. Now we just have regular lined florals. And what's nice about these is you can leave them black and white, or you could color them in if you wanted to. So because they're on paper, so they're really easy to color in, and you could do whatever colors you wanted. These are really pretty. I love the red and orange and pink here. They're so bright and unique. These are on clear. And then the next part. Now we have, I feel like this looks more like the cover. We've got those little teapots there, but kind of like a storybook style, I would say. These are on paper, but really beautiful. They're, again, very unique. Jessica did a really great job with these. And then we have some more watercolor ones. So these kind of look like the black and white ones, but as though they were added, or they had some watercolor added into them. And then our paper. Next up, we have the clear ones. These also sort of have that watercolor, but not really outside of the lines, with Grow Like a Wildflower, Live in Full Bloom, and Nourish to Flourish. Having trouble flipping today. Okay. And then Let Your Dreams Blossom, Wild and Free. There are always flowers for those who want to see them. Where flowers bloom, so does hope, and Keep Blooming. And then the final set are on clear, so the black and white ones. You can add color to these using certain markers, or you can color in the backs of them, which I've shown in some other videos. Sorry, I'm having trouble getting a good view here without knocking things over. Once you get to the end of the book, it's a little bit more difficult to do that. And you have 2, I think, different pages. Yes, different pages of these. So that is Chicly lined. Next up, we have Winter Love, so the LiveLovePosh winter sticker book. And usually with the winter sticker books versus the Christmas, you are going to have more of a winter season. I do see a couple of Christmas items here, but usually these are more focused on winter itself and not Christmas. So we have some ice skating and winter items here. I like the chips, little hot cocoa. These are on paper. Then you have some winter clothing and then layered elements and then the big boxes still on paper. Next up, we are going into the woods. We've got the trees with snow and the winter, or not winter, but logs. You have 2 pages on clear and then another 2 pages on clear. Then we have really pretty, these are on paper and just some fun. I feel like whenever I see the blue and the green and like kind of the mauve, it just feels very cozy. But I like the little different, like you've got a moth here, we have some ribbon. So just a unique set here. And these are on paper, and then you get your second set of pages on paper as well. Now we have some winter florals. Of course, a Live Love Posh sticker book wouldn't be a Live Love Posh sticker book without some seasonal florals, but you just have 2 pages of these. These are on clear. Then we are getting cozy vibes. So this is one of those that I would say is sort of mostly winter, but has a little bit of a Christmas combination. Of course, we have a tree with some ornaments, and I feel like when you see a reindeer, like that does bring in Christmas, but it's a little bit more neutral and not as like obvious Christmas. Those are on paper, and then you get your second set. And now we have some poinsettias. So again, a little Christmassy, but not too loud. These are on clear. You've got the acorns. And then just 2 pages of those. Then we have the next set, pretty tree here with some ornaments, the poinsettia. You've got some gifts. So still some Christmas in here. Now we have some cozy clothes. You've got a candy cane, some pretty blues here and greens, a little snowman. And then we have some florals with some feathers too. These are on clear. And you're going to have 2 sets of pages on these. With the circle stickers, these are going to have a cut right there so that if I take that out, when I put this in my planner, I'll still have the background is just going to be the planner page. So you're going to be able to write. Normally, circle stickers like this don't have, they're not on clear, but because they are, there's that cutout. I'm having a little bit of trouble with my words today. I'm having a bit of a high anxiety day, and I was like, let me work through it and see if filming a video will help kind of distract my brain and talk through it. I'm noticing that I'm having a little bit of trouble with my words. So if that's what you're sensing as well, I just want to be transparent and give you the reasoning. I've been a little bit more open this year with the anxiety that I've been experiencing. So if you feel like I'm not doing a great job at this video, I just kind of wanted to explain why I may seem a little bit off, but we're okay. Now we have this really pretty winter is coming. So this is one big sticker here like that. And I really love her kind of walking through like the tree market, maybe not market because they're all decorated already, but really pretty. I like this teal. Again, this is Christmassy, but it is feeling very wintry as well. There is more Christmas in this sticker book than I expected because I feel like with a winter sticker book, you could still include like Valentine's Day and, you know, more just snow and winter versus the Christmas inclusion, because I don't know if you would use these once January comes. So just something to think about. I think it's a really beautiful sticker book, but it does feel a little bit more Christmassy than most winter sticker books that we see. The next one is the one I'm most excited about. And what I was going to say earlier, but I figured I'd wait until I showed you this, was I got this at Chicago Planner Conference. I got all 3 of them were given to me as an affiliate, but I bought another copy of this one because I knew I wanted another copy of it. And I was talking to Jessica, Live Love Posh, and telling her how obsessed I was. She told me that she has been hoarding these designs for years, just waiting to use them. And I'm so glad that we finally get to see them because this may be one of the prettiest sticker books I've ever seen. I'm obsessed. I think it's going to sell out and I love it. So first up, we have on paper these really pretty florals with some gold, 2 pages of those. Then we've got some more florals. These are more of like a photorealistic, but you also have some of the lined ones too. These are on paper. And then the next set is on paper too. Look how beautiful that is. So pretty. Now we've got a lot of kind of collage items. So if you like junk journaling or just like creative spreads, I feel like this is such a cool style here. There's so much to look at. We've got a library card with a binder clip. You have a little library card here. We've got a film strip that's layered over a Polaroid. We've got a box layered over books. There's so much here and it's so pretty. 2 pages of these, and these are on paper. Then we have some of those same elements, but larger, a little bit differently styled. Excuse me. A little bit differently styled, but really pretty. And again, these are on paper, so you can write on the boxes. Now we have a film strip. We've got some like washi, a little binder clip, a bow, some more washi, a locket, a flower, and then the really cool corner pieces. These are on paper. Then you have some days of the week. We've got plans in like Scrabble tiles, some just little fun elements that you could do a lot of playing around and layering with. Now, what we've seen in a lot of Live Love Posh sticker books lately are these large stickers. So this is 3 separate stickers here that you could use for a lot of different elements. I like this one that has the lines on it too. I love the book one. And you have 2 sets of those. Then the next ones, we've got the abstract, excuse me, the film reel, and then some squiggles with a little bit of watercolor over them. 2 of those. Now we're continuing. We have more. This one has a really pretty border, and then we've got the abstract and the photorealistic roses. Then you have some washi style sticker strips, and then this one as well, but this you can kind of see the cut marks on. And 2 pages of those. Now we've got these Scrabble tile style stickers. It's a lot of words. With like this gray and black, which is really cool. Kind of fits the color scheme of the book versus like the traditional tan ones. And then we have watercolor letters in pink. And then also plans to do memories, gratitude, and love. And 2 pages of those. So you should have enough alphabet letters. Then we've got days of the week and then blank header boxes. The months of the year are smaller, and then the months of the year that are larger. Now we have notes, thoughts, dreams, my ideas, scribbles, doodles, plans, secrets, memories, my lists, moments, musings, goals, wishes, to-do list, notes, thoughts, dreams, my ideas, scribble, my lists. Oh, then we're repeating. Then dream, doodle, do, brain dump, goals, jot it down. Little by little, a page becomes your story. Gratitude, tiny thoughts. Every scribble is a step toward clarity. 1 page at a time. Pour it out, breathe it in, journaling, write it out. Memories, dream, doodle, do, just journaling. The magic is in the margins. Dreams, brain dump, goals. Pages filled with progress, not perfection. My happy pages, daily scribbles, notes and doodles, and notes. And 2 pages of those. Then we have some typewriter style quotes. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. It is better to be hated for what you are than to be loved for what you are not. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Life is never easy. There is work to be done and obligations to be met, obligations to truth, to justice, and to liberty. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. Self-love, my liege, is not so vile a sin as self-neglecting. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. Happiness, self-love. In order to write about life first, you must live it. Life is what we make it and how we make it, whether we realize it or not. If life were predictable, it would cease to be life and be without flavor. Life is ours to be spent, not to be saved. In the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. Whoever is happy will make others happy too. To fall in love with yourself is the first secret to happiness. And then we have another set of quotes, not 2 pages of that. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. The best way to find out if you can trust somebody is to trust them. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. The whole secret of a successful life is to find out what is one's destiny to do, and then do it. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. The unexamined life is not worth living. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. Beautiful moments. Life is a flower, of which love is the honey. When you reach the end of your rope, tie a knot in it and hang on. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Dreams. Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. Always remember that you are absolutely unique, just like everybody else. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. It is never too late to be what you might have been. Beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself. And there we go. That is Petals and Pages. Definitely a favorite of mine from 2026. So we have Petals and Pages, Winter Love, and Chicly lined. All right, we took a few days as a break. I don't know if anyone else here experiences anxiety or, just some personal challenges, but sometimes some things work to help it and other times it doesn't. And a lot of times filming a video for me does help. When I filmed the flip through of these, I just couldn't quite get past it and decided that we needed to pause until I was ready. So now let's do some planning. So just to kind of recap, Petals and Pages, Winter Love, and Chicly lined all release on the 24th at 1 p.m. Central. Code Elise10 will give you a discount. I have 2 lined pages here because we are going to make a spread for Xandria. And what we're going to do here is create a winter memories page that she can use to document, guess what? Winter memories. So trying to decide, I think that these may be really pretty to use here. Let me keep looking because I also am going to be using some stencils today. I feel like these are really pretty. And I want to make sure that, I think we're going to do this. This is a pretty unique set here. I want to make sure that I have the colors for the stencils that I'm going to be, I have the colors that coordinate with these stickers for the stenciling that I want to do today. That's kind of where I was going with this. We're going to put this up a little bit so that it ends up getting cut a tiny bit. And then let's put this one over here. Just kind of framing out the page a little bit. I really like this leaf. We have it on the right side, so I want to include it on the left as well. Let's maybe put it here. And then what else do we have to use here? Let's see. This is cute. And we can kind of sneak in a little quote over here. I think that would work. I just had Black Quotes by Amber Plans Her Day. And there should be seasonal quotes in here too, because I know that there are. I just don't know if I have winter ones in here. Let's see, maybe they're towards the end. Self-care, goal planning, sassy, still sassy, winter. Let's do Hello Winter Days because the goal here is making a page for memories. So we can just kind of sneak this quote right in there. We'll cut the top of this off. And then I think we should start by getting the letters down because I'm afraid that if I don't, I'm not going to have any room for them. So I'm pulling out Alpha Basics Volume 4 by Kell of a Plan. And originally I was going to use some thicker black letters. I'm wondering if green, I think green may work here actually. Let's do that. So we're going to go right to left here. And I'm going to go a little bit over these stickers. We're going to do a little bit of layering. and spell out winter. Just going backwards to make sure that my spacing is right. W. And then for the right side, I have to make a little bit of a judgment call, because if I put memories over here and not higher up, we're going to have this gap of space. So I think that maybe I need to come back in with maybe not necessarily that exact same sticker, but I think that this time, if I put this here, we take the other little, I don't know, bubbles. I'm not entirely sure what they are, but they're pretty. Now, I know that this sticker book has the word winter in it. I didn't want to use it because I wanted to use the same font and color on both sides of the page. I felt like if I didn't, it was going to get lost. So that's one of the reasons that I didn't do that, in case you are wondering. Let's add in maybe one more little cloud over here. Okay, so now that I have those in, we're going to keep these lined up so I can make sure my words are lined up. And then we're going to do memories. Oh. I also like the clouds with this. I feel like it's very soft and is really good for a memories page. So I'm happy. Okay, winter memories. There you go. I like it. Let's trim this. And then before I forget, we need to punch. I have sent out planner spreads without the punch hole, so I want to make sure that we are punching. All right, and then I may be finished with this sticker book for now. We'll move it over. The next thing is that I want to include boxes and stuff for Zandria to be able to jot down her winter memories. So I have a stencil here and I have sticker paper. The reason I'm doing it on sticker paper is because otherwise the stencil is going to be over the lines. The lines are helpful for writing, but I do want to make sure that it's easy to jot down the memories. So I have yellow. We're going to want a gray here. Even though we don't really have gray, I feel like it's going to be a good complementary color. And then I'm looking for like maybe this slate blue. Yeah, I think that would be pretty. So just do a little bit of a color test. I don't feel the need to find green because we have green here. I do like this color. It's kind of like a mauve. Could be maybe one of these. That feels a little too pink. This feels a little too red, but these are going to be the best colors that I have. So I think we go for the darker. Whoa. Let me move this up a little closer. I don't know which one to go for. Let me see. I think we go for the lighter one because I feel like as it's settling in, it's getting a little bit darker. The other color I have here that may be better than the gray is that green, but is it going to, I think we're going to do the green instead of the gray. Okay, I've got my colors. I'm just using mild liners. Let me show you for a second why I like using mild liners for this. So I think we're going to start with the pink, and I'm doing this in sort of a two-step process. So this is an Archer and Olive stencil, and we're first going to draw the stencil or draw it with the mild liner. Then I'm going to take a pen. I like a Sarasa R.5 for this, and I'm just going to border it. And I feel like it just packs a bigger punch by having it bordered. You could also add a shadow to it, but I like the border. There we go. Okay. It kind of came up a little bit there, so I want to be a little bit cleaner. I feel like I need boxes that maybe aren't as huge. Well, actually, we can kind of turn this. So let's create maybe 2 boxes of each color. And I'm putting them really close to each other because it's just going to be easier to cut them out when they're close to each other. And we're basically just making our own stickers here. Don't get me wrong, I love box stickers, but if you're anything like me, sometimes it's hard to find the exact box sticker color that you want. And then the next time you're looking for that color, you can't find it. So we'll just create 4 more here. And the reason that I'm doing the color and then the box and then the black line is so that I can make sure I'm doing it in the right spot. Otherwise, I don't trust myself to line up a stencil perfectly twice. And I'm just kind of cleaning off the black pen in between them. Okay, the blue and the green do look similar. I think that once we put them down, they'll look a little bit more different. The other thing you may want to do, if I had a napkin or tissue or baby wipe here, I would grab it, but kind of clean off your stencil in between. As you can see, it got on my finger. If I were doing this again, I probably would have started with the yellow because otherwise it's going to get on the yellow, but cleaning it off helps. And my outliners are washable, so I'll be able to get that off my hand. Easy peasy. Okay, we've got boxes that match our spread really nicely. The other benefit to putting these on sticker paper instead of just putting the stencil directly on the page is that we'll be able to layer them. So when I put this down and I peel this off, I can easily layer these. I wouldn't be able to layer so easily if I had just used the stencil because it's drawing directly on the page. I am going to cover up a tiny bit underneath just so you don't see through. The sticker paper isn't super thick. It's not really meant for like planner stickers. It's more meant for like shipping labels. That's what I use to print out the labels when I mail out these spreads. But I don't really see a need. I don't use it enough to feel like I have to buy more than like a separate type of paper for this. I don't, really print my own stickers or anything like that. I have enough trouble printing mailing labels. Printers and Elise don't always get along. Okay, here we go. And then let's get our blue. And look at this. It's just like a really simple, pretty memories page to document the season. I want to lift this up a little bit so that it layers. And my plan was, I'm not quite finished with the sticker book yet. My plan was to get the boxes in so that this is functional, and then we'll come back in with like supplementary decorative stickers. If I were to do this again, I really can't use undo on these, but I would have switched it so that the blue and green weren't right next to each other because they feel a little bit matchy, but it's okay. Now we'll come back in over here. Let's do the green. These do look very similar now that they're next to each other, but they're not. Let's put this one here. And then let's do, I guess because of the way that I have this, these are going to have to be layered together somewhere. So let's do it towards the top so that it's not next to itself down here. I'm just kind of shifting this a little bit lower so it's not so symmetrical, and that's intentional. Oh, I love how this is coming out. I hope that Andrea likes it too. And this one we're going to put right here. This is a very easy type of spread to create, and you also get to be like a little bit more decorative with it. Not decorative, creative with it, because you're drawing your boxes. All right. Now that we have those down, we have room to play around a little bit more. So we're going to take our stickers and add these in. So I do like this winter one. It's kind of pop. We can put it down here. I didn't want it too high that it looked like it was part of the wording. And then we can do this cute one with the spiced candle. Just going to cut this so it has a flat base and it sits really nicely on the page. Now over here on the left, let's do the treats. Again, cutting a flat base here so it just sits nicer on top of a box like that. We have a little space for something in here. Let's do these little like moths. Like that. Where do I feel like we're lacking? I feel like we're lacking a little bit over here. I kind of want to bring in a cloud, but with this cloud, I'm going to trim the right corner. Just kind of tuck it between those two like that. And then we could do a little something over here. I could have this one come out of the other side of the page like that. So it kind of looks like it's part of that bottom sticker. I think that that looks really cute. I do feel like we're lacking a tiny bit up top because we've got that blank space. So we can take, I can't remember what these are called. The problem I have here is that if I go across like this, I'm still going to have a gap. But we can do it. We can fill that gap more easily than the larger one. But this way, the top of both pages are kind of covered. And then let's take another one of these little moths, I think, right there. All right. I think we're set. This is really cute. I like the little addition of the quote here. So I think that that's pretty. And, oh, we have to punch this. I said I was gonna, I almost forgot. Let's get that. So as a reminder, these 3 sticker books all release on the 24th at 1 p.m. Central. Code Elise10 will give you a discount on non-discounted items because it's also going to be when the Thankful sale begins. I will have another video up tomorrow using Petals and Pages, so stay tuned for that. And if you want to see where I've used Chicly lined, I'm not actually finished with it yet, but I did start to create something during a Patreon Zoom the other night that sort of gave me the idea for this spread as well. But this, I'm not finished, like I said, but this is using the florals from Chicly lined. So I've now used all 3 sticker books and I really love them. I think this release is going to be a hit. If you are shopping, please do consider using my affiliate link. And I think I mentioned earlier that if you just go through the link in the description versus code Elise10, it will guarantee that I get credit for your order, which is really helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support, and I will see you next time.